Good morning, family. Black Feniks checking in, the owner of HogOn Welding and the founder of Welding and Hip Hop and the founder of Imagine Your Container. Wanted to come to you today on how to know the tree by the fruit it bears. And I want to use those terms because I think when we're networking and we're dealing with certain people, building our independence and um, networking our careers and trying to find our niche, that we have to recognize certain face value of things and people that we deal with. And some people get caught up with saying, oh, you're judging someone, you judging this. Well, you have to think that you judge a person due to their character. You don't judge a person due to what they look like, where they're from, their stories or whatnot. You pretty much going to judge them off of their actions, the way they carry themselves. And you say you would know the tree by the fruit it bears. And I think sometimes we get sidetracked on not realizing that simple fact that a lot of the people and companies that we deal with will show their hand to us. When I got flies and stuff flopping up, I got this door open, but it feels good outside. It's been raining. But you have people that will not look at the realistic standpoint of knowing that people will show their hand to you. And sometimes we tend to not look at it for what it is. You know what I mean? Like, you got to think, if you're building a team and you're trying to build your team with people that you can depend on, people that are reliable, people who are responsible, then you're going to have to look at those type of trees. You're going to have to look at those type of people that bear those type of fruit. Like, don't get caught up in just what someone say. Look at what type of tree they are. Like, actions speak louder than words. You know what I mean? Like, literally. You know what I mean? People can tell you they are this, they are that, and when it's time to make things happen, you see that you probably be left holding the ball, or you realize that it wasn't what you thought it was. You know what I'm saying? So all I'm saying is that I feel like it's very important that we don't be naive to the fact that we have to just accept the fact that if we're going to this tree and we're looking for some apples, but this tree that we're going to is actually a uh, let's just say it's a let's just say it's a lemon tree. And no matter how many times you go to it and you say, hey, I'm gonna give you some good water, man, I just want an apple, you're not going to get an apple off that tree. You have to be realistic with yourself. And I think we're gonna have to be realistic when we're dealing with business, when we're dealing with people, when we're dealing with our finances, when we're building our brands. Like, um, we're gonna have to stop fishing in the wrong ponds, man. Like, if you're looking for, like, I didn't realize that since I've been here in the OKC area that I reached out to a few people, and I realized a few people that I reached out to, in my personal opinion, that you know how you meet people and say, hey, I got this going on, here go a card, this is what I do. And not getting a response, or like, or getting one and it's one sided, and it makes me realize that, personally, I wasn't looking at, like, I seen the fruit, or I let the person say what they said, and then I got chance to witness, because it wasn't no follow up, it wasn't actions, wasn't behind it. So I seen the fruit that they was bearing, and it just showed me that with what I'm doing here, I have to fish for independent people, independent minded people, people who think, who want to be entrepreneurs, who really understand that it takes money to make money, who really understands that if I'm going to find my independence, if I'm going to have my independence, I got to build my own. I got to invest in my own. Good rising, good rising, good rising. Same to you, man. I hope everything is good. I think that it's important this morning that we should just recognize the tree by the fruit it bears, man. I think that when we're dealing with people and we're dealing with business, that we don't just look at things simple. And I think that we have to stop complicating things. You know, certain things are black and white, and you just have to accept them for what they are. You have to accept the situation and say, okay, well, I know that I can't deal with this person on this level or this business, so I have to come with a different approach. You see what I'm saying? Okay, it's better for me to run ads on this level where I don't have to beg for money. You see what I'm saying? So you have to realize certain facts, and you have to be willing to do what it takes. And one thing I would say, if you invest your money properly, especially on ads, and if you run them properly, you can actually weed through a lot of the people that's not as serious, you know. So sometimes you can run the ads and you can find people that actually on that level, like what you're looking for. So I realize here that I'm building an independent team, and I want to deal with, you know, contractor type thinking people, independent thinking people, instead of dealing with, you know, I'm not looking for employees by no means, but I'm looking for, you know, people who actually want to make some money. Because, you know, when you're looking at a person, like to me personally as an employee and not a member, um, you're only going to get so far. You know what I mean? I want to be able to make some money where we both eating. You see what I'm saying? But you have to look at the bigger picture, and you have to be that type of person to realize, okay, if I do this, I can do this, and not have limitations, man. Just because you haven't did something before doesn't mean it's going to be hard to do it if that's your field. Like, I consider myself you know, I know I'm a certified welder, fabricator. So just because I haven't built a certain specific thing before doesn't mean I can't do it. Doesn't mean I'm not willing to take on the challenge. You see what I'm saying? So I think we have to be willing to get outside of our comfort zone and really like look at people and look at the way we network different, and just, you know, when you see certain things for what it is, just take it for what it is. You know, don't complicate it. You know, one thing I know about hate can be plain, and you can cover it up with, no, this, it was this, no, it was that, no, it's what it was. You know, just man, just call it for what it is and grow from it. You know what I mean? I like to say, you know, don't get bitter, get better. I have got bitter before, and I have recognized, and I'll say, you know what, I'm not gonna let that affect me. I let that go. You know what I'm saying? Because one thing I realized about bitterness, when you let yourself get there, you can be bitter, and whoever you bitter at, they can be going on doing their life, living their thing, doing their thing, and they ain't even thinking about what you, and here you hung up on, you know, what happened, you know, what they did to you or whatnot. So sometimes I just believe that it's just good to just let things go and to just call it for what it is. And I don't think we'll get as hurt as much, because sometimes people put their hand out there. They show you who they are, what they stand for. You see what I'm saying? And I think that it's going to be valuable that we just pay attention to those signs, not be naive to those signs, you know. And I honestly believe how we do that is just recognizing the fruit. Like, if a person says they are a boss, or they are a owner, you know, or they want to really network, oh man, I want to get, action's going to come behind it. You know what I mean? So you can't force nothing, because some people, they see things, so okay, he might be on this level or that level. I'm like, nah, bro, we can do a lot of stuff. You know what I mean? But sometimes people think things different. Like, you will give things as a guide. Like, hey, bro, this is a guide. You know, we can do anything. Don't be limited. Don't be small minded, because if you be small minded and limited, you're not going to get to that level that you want to be on. So you're going to have to be open minded. You're going to have to realize that, hey, it's more than one way to do this. You know what I mean? And one fact that we can get there faster together. Point blank. Period. You know what I mean? I can get there by myself, but if I got some help, we're gonna get there faster. It's just what it is. Now, once you start going downhill, even once you're doing it yourself, it's gonna pick up momentum, and you ain't gonna really need, you know what I mean? You ain't gonna really need the assistance that you needed at first, if you invest and you do, you know, you put your money where it need to be at. So, you know, during this time, man, I just say, just recognize things for what it is. You know, we all make mistakes. We all stumble and let someone in that we shouldn't have let in. You know what I mean? But we did get the warning signs that we looked over, and later we like, man, they showed me who they was. The true colors were shown, and looked over. I didn't pay it no attention. You know what I mean? So I just think that we're gonna have to look at the tree. You know what I'm saying? For the fruit it bears, just and how to do it is just, don't get caught up in the in the magic show. You know how they say that, we love a good um, a performance, and the reality of it is, the truth of it behind a magic trick is the hand is always quicker than the eye. So sometimes a person can act a certain way and you can believe, oh, this is who they are, but really they was doing some extra trickery stuff on the end that you just didn't see. And then once you got more involved in it, you notice, oh man, you know what I mean? So I think that we deal with that with dealing with people. So I just wanted to say that this morning because I know that sometimes, we just don't recognize things just as for what it is, you know what I mean? Um, that's why I like to just speak about real things about life for what it is. Yeah, appreciate that, bro. Yeah, man. Sometimes we just got to, we have to, we have to just face the facts for what it is. Don't be naive and just say, "Hey, this is the truth," and just move on and learn from that. And when you're building your team, you got to know that, hey, you're not going to go to no pond where it's full of catfish and think you're gonna get some perch or some bass out of there. You know what I mean? Like, it's specific places you have to network at to get what you're looking for. And I think that once you realize that, we'll stop wasting time with dealing with certain people in certain areas when we know we cannot get this from them. Like, we know, ain't no care, I don't care how long we milk this cow, he is not gonna shoot out no pineapple juice. You know what I mean? I don't care what we do, is what it is. So we have to just face things, realistically, and just say, hey, it's what it is. You know what I mean? So I don't blow nothing up. I just let things be what it is. Once I see the hate or the racism or the or the ill will or the lack of the lack of enthusiasm, you know what I mean, or whatever the situation is, then I read it for what it is. You know what I mean? And I like to reach out to those that's really trying to do something. You know what I mean? So my goal is, man, that there's no need to waste time with people anymore. You know what? You know, we do think that sometimes that things will just fall into place like a fairy tale, and us just having good hearts, especially those of us who just got good hearts and we just want to give and then we want to help people, and then you get burnt and then you start want to get better and then you want to give up on your mission because you let the wrong person in. Don't get bitter. Um, get better from that situation. We just got to not be naive. You see what I'm saying? Not be naive and really focus on the hard work and the work ethics, placing ourselves in the right position to meet those right people. Because if we get in the right position, we'll meet the people we're trying to meet. But if you try to force your hand with dealing with certain people, all you're doing, you're going to spend vain money. You're going to um, have your back up against the wall. You see what I'm saying? And some people honestly have good intentions. Good intentions. Think about this. But the sacrifice is to swear to your own hurt and change not. So if I tell you Tuesday, I'm gonna come see you and we're gonna sit down. I don't care what happened, unless it was a life changing situation. Someone died, I'm in the hospital, whatever. But if something else came up, I said, man, I really need to meet dude before we could put it in front. Nah, I told you Tuesday, I'm gonna have to tell dude, hey, we're gonna have to put this off. I got something planned. And I think that we got to learn how to swear to our own hurt and change not. And I think once we start doing that, it'll help us even better because we're gonna have to just stand on that and say, okay, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put this work ethics in. I'm gonna do what I got to do. And I feel like as long as we put the work ethics in, as long as we do what we do what it takes, it's gonna work out. But we can't be naive and think that it's just gonna fall in our lap. It's not gonna happen. Just because you good and you give good to others doesn't mean that they're gonna return the favor. We have to be realistic that some people are takers and you got givers. You got lust for people and you got people that love genuine, and love gives, lust takes. you know, and sometimes lust will look like love. But over time, you'll see the pattern that every time, if it doesn't get what it wants, it throws temper tantrum, or it tries to threaten, or it's want to take away, or, you know, it's always an ulterior motive pretty much, you know. So I just feel like we just have to just look at the tree, look at the situation, the person, you know, your business idea, look at it for what it is. Don't be naive. Just say, hey, is this going to work? You know, sometimes we'll get caught up in things that's not going to work, and we steady try to, they say, reinvent the wheel. In certain things, you just can't reinvent the wheel. You have to go with the flow of certain things. Now, you can make the wheel better. Think about it. You can't improve it, but certain things you have to go. It's a system, and you just got to go through the system. You know, it's like certain jobs asking for X amount of years of experience, and they do that because they know if you got, say, 5 years experience, you done already worked the kinks out of the basic stuff. You already know, okay, this is what you should do, this is what you shouldn't do. So, you know, certain things we just have to be realistic on, man. Realistic. And so I personally just wanted to say that this morning, just to kind of put that in your mind, you know, whatever you're going through. And there's just some personal things that I had to face, and just realize that, hey, you know, you got to call it for what it is. You know, um, we can't expect apples off a lemon tree. We can't expect workers to be bosses if they only think like a worker. Some people only think time clock. Some people only think, you know, hourly. And if you're gonna build businesses, it ain't gonna come hourly. Like, we ain't gonna get it like that sometimes. You know, surely we'll want it, but sometimes we don't. You know what I mean? It don't fall like that all the time. So I just feel like, you know, we just have to be realistic, and just keep the faith. Keep the faith, you know, and knowing that it'll all work out as long as we stay focused. Yeah, I get it, man. You know what? I have the same thing sometimes because I try to be genuine. I mean, I am genuine, try to build with others and really want to see a person win. But sometimes people get intimidated by your drive and your enthusiasm and your ambition to do what it takes. You know what I mean? So everybody is different. So I'm wired different. You're wired different. And sometimes people will look at the way you were and, oh man, they gonna be this way, and it's not like that. You know what I mean? But it helps you weed out those type of people. And sometimes you just have to keep going. And one thing I have noticed, when you're a go getter and you're a grinder and you're a hustler, you will meet those who are the same thing. You will meet those who are on that same level. You see what I'm saying? So don't don't get discouraged and think that you're not going to find your team. You just got to start um, looking at the trees because they out there. And you say, okay, this is the one that's for me. You know what I mean? And hustlers attract hustlers. You know what I mean? I done met a lady that I done did a few business deals with here, and things didn't worked out good on both parties because I explained to her just honestly that I practice the win-win method. You know, I want to win, but I want you to win too. And I don't feel like we should never practice a situation where I'm losing and you winning, and you winning and I'm losing, or we both losing. We should always be able to figure out and compromise a way that we both are happy with the outcome. And I think that you have to be realistic with that point when you're dealing with your business relationships and you're creating a new business relationship, and just put that on the table. Say, hey, that's network. If See how it goes. And some people talk a good game. Hey, I want to mess with you. I want to do this. I want to do this, and then they don't come through. You know what I mean? I can't tell you how many people who will start off motivated, but then it takes work, man. Like, it takes work to really make things happen. It takes dedication. It takes discipline. It takes money, you know, time, you know, and some people, when it gets into certain things, they freeze up, you know. So you have to make sure that the people that you're dealing with, y'all are on the same page, and just don't get discouraged. You know, right now you're just going through your reconstructing stage where you're figuring things out, you're building your team, you realize who fit, who don't fit, And if you're independent and you're building something great, you're gonna have to get those type of people around you. You're gonna have to get those type of independent thinking people around you that really want something, that really want to do something great. Yes, discipline. Discipline. You got to have it, man. You got to have it. Like, man, I go to bed early so I can wake up early. But since I don't have a lot of comrades or friends, so to speak, you know, I'm just focused on the mission. And I try to put that involved in the mission, and sometimes it don't work out. So I just say, hey, I'm just gonna do what need to be done, and if it's meant, it's meant. But I don't force anything no more. You know, I reach my hand out. Some people just, some people just are plainly jealous of where you at, and they feel like they should be there, or why you there and they're not there. Some people just jealous of what you're doing, and they won't network with you, even if it was a great thing. You know, I had a situation where a guy said that he making $10 an hour, and I reached out for an opportunity so he can make $20 an hour on a side gig with me, and I don't hear nothing. You know what I mean? So he evidently, the money situation, what it was, evidently he just felt like, I don't want to work for this guy right here. If I work for him, then that means he think it's smarter than me. I wonder, can he get this off the ground by himself? And it is what it is. So I'm gonna make it happen regardless. Sometimes you just got to go back to the drawing board and say, hey, regardless of what, if you participate with me or not, I'm still gonna make this happen. So that's the way I view things. Like, you're just gonna have to just be patient and build a team that's right for you, and don't get caught up in words. I done had people say a lot of shit, a lot, you know, inbox me. Yes, I want to work for you. Yes, I want to do this. Yeah, I want to build this. Yeah, I want to do that. And then you don't hear from them. It takes work. It takes sacrifice. And if you really want to get there, you got to make a sacrifice. It's just what it is. So sometimes people can look at things sideways, or people can look at things like, "Ooh, he want to do this or that." You know what I mean? Which, on the reality standpoint, you just want to see him win. But some people would rather lose if they know it's you that's helping them. Ain't that some shit? I don't know. I mean, and a lot of times it's gonna be people that you really love and people that you respect, that you want to help, that just, it ain't gonna work out. So I think a lot of the people that you're gonna attract is gonna be. I have noticed that strangers has been my best comrades, my best business partners, investors. You know what I mean? Strangers who just see the hustle and see the drive and see the end result. Um, so don't get discouraged, and just when you're building your team, just look at the tree for what it, the fruit for what it bears, and um, don't get caught up in thinking that you can change someone. Oh my goodness, you cannot change someone. If a person is who they are who they are. Let me say that again. If a person are who they are, you cannot change them. Don't think you can be sweet. You can give them money. You can do whatever. If that person is in a place in their life and their mind where this is who they are, I don't care what you do, it's not gonna happen. So find the people in your life, place people in your life that's already where you're going, and it's going to be easy for y'all to get to that next level because they going that way anyway. So y'all just carpooling together to get there quicker. You see what I'm saying? That's the definition to me of carpooling, when you got people on the same mind in the same frame making things happen. I mean, see, I kind of missed that when I couldn't see what you said. Yes, yes, it is crazy because sometimes people will get intimidated by the fact that you encouraging them to do better. Some people would say, well, I'm who I am. You're trying to change me when you're not trying to change. Like, hey, then just push, if we work harder, we can get here, but some people just want to be lazy. Some people just want to be in the project. Some people just want to be in the trailer park. Some people don't want to own nothing. Some people don't, just rather work. They don't want to think boss. They just rather get by and complain that they ain't making it. that they got to depend on the job, that so and so got to go in because so and so didn't go in. Like they'll rather work the system and be treated like a slave, but they'll say that they want to be independent and free. And that's why I say a mouth will say anything, but actions speak louder than words. If you really want to be free, you're going to figure out a way to be independent, a way to find your independence and network with people who are independent. You know, network with them, spend money with them. You know what I mean? And to me personally, I'm gonna tell you something before I let you go. My relationships that I have built, even here since I've been in OKC and only been here 3 months, the relationships, the small relationships I had built on business, I spent money with them. So if you spend money with people, it's actions speak louder than words. If I invest in your business, then you invest in my business. You see what I'm saying? So I invested in this lady that I've been networking with, helping her. She's been helping me. You see what I'm saying? It's been a win-win. So you have to learn how to network with people who actually want to network and see you win. And that's just what it's going to be. You know what I mean? So don't get caught up in thinking that you just have to look at things one-sided as far as when you're dealing with people as when you're networking. Like, you're going to have to just be realistic with your approach and just know that, hey, I'm going to have to deal with people who want the same thing that I want. Or I'm going to have to deal with people who want me to win just like I want them to win. Like, literally, I want to see you win. And like I say, man, actions gonna speak louder than words for the few people I have reached out to. And they're about to see me do something. And once I do it, I know they're gonna be like, damn, he did exactly what he said. He offered it to me first. You think I'm gonna go back and mess with him? Oh, no, 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 no. You had that offer. You had that time. Now that time is up. I'm on to something else now. But you can come by and say, what's up? I'm still gonna speak. What's up? What's going on? But as far as what level I'm on, I can't go backwards. So if I presented something with someone and they didn't accept it then I'm moving on. You know what I mean? So you have to be cool with that and just know that, hey, you got to move on. Now, you will meet certain people that they wasn't ready at that time, and then later on, life or later on, and it's, hey man, I'm ready now. I got my, self situated or whatnot. That's fine. You know what I mean? They didn't found a way to meet you halfway, but you can't go back to the, to the shore. They didn't found a way to get out on the water themselves, and they met you and you picked them up. You know what I'm saying? And y'all kept going in that direction, but that's just what it is sometimes. I just realized that some people, no matter how we feel inside and we want to wake everybody up and change the world and help everybody, it's just, we got to help those who are woke like us, and you're going to know a person is woke like you because they're going to be shining like you, grinding like you. And the people that sleep is going to be doing things that sleepers do. Sleep. Hold on.